Hey everybody, so we're live again today, or this afternoon, I guess. What's up, John? And Hoo Dilly 69, what's up? How's it going, everybody? Today is Lian Li PC011 loop planning. So all I'm gonna be doing, I'm not actually gonna be building a loop in this, sadly. At least not that I know of. I'd love to work in the case. But I'm just gonna show you guys how I go over the component selection as far as picking up water cooling parts on our site goes, some tips and tricks with that, 'cause I know it can definitely be quite the challenge sometimes. As well as just kinda, what's up, Cheddar Popcorn? How's it going, man? So as far as that goes, we'll be planning out component selection, like I said, and then I'll probably cover some mods that I might consider doing to this case, because I think you could have some fun with it as well, just beyond water cooling. And I will also be showing you guys how. Oh no, the chat's kind of messed up in this one window. Oh well. But I'll also show you guys how I kind of plan for angled fittings and whatnot. And I kind of just drop a mock loop, so I'll kind of go over that with you guys as well. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in chat. I'll be trying to pay attention as much as I can. It's just me today. We don't have Carlos or Jason around, sadly. It's I know it's New Year's Eve and everybody's probably got some plans going on, if not already, pretty soon. So we've got some people in here on Twitch and whatnot. I think Facebook too. But we should get going. I guess I could start with some announcements though, actually, and see if anybody else comes in. So let me switch to this different view. So right now we got our Happy New Year sale going on. So you can get 12% off your order if you use the code New Year 1812. Got some new products as well. I didn't update the new products on the stream sidebar there, sorry, but we've got the Coffee Lake CPU delating tool. You can also discuss how XFlow over CFlow rides dual GPU. Yeah, I can definitely go over some of that. It's a lot of stuff to cover, but I will do my best to go over that with you guys, because those are all good topics actually. Like I said, it's a lot, but definitely all those things are something you want to consider when planning a loop out. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, we have a Discord giveaway going on, everybody. So let me see, where did that go? It must be in my Discord. So for the Discord giveaway, oh, here's a picture of the little thing. Oh, it links to our Discord. Okay, interesting. I'll post this newsletter for you guys in chat so you guys can check that out. But if you didn't know already, we have a Discord channel. I said click the little picture in the newsletter there and it'll take you right to it. What's up, Sean? And with that being said, the 600 member giveaway, we're just over 500 some now, probably getting close to 520 or something, I think. I don't know, I checked a little bit ago. And we're getting more people in every day, and it's really awesome. So as soon as we hit 600 members, we will be giving away, as you can see here, an EKX Res X3 150 RGB, as well as 2 bottles of CryoChills coolant in whatever color you want. We are getting more colors in soon. Let me see. Garrett told me we had some on Friday, but I don't know if they got put up yet. And I do have the list of all the coolants. The link don't work. It doesn't really? Well, dang. Oh wow, these are already going out of stock. So yeah, they're not up yet. The link doesn't work. Really. Let me see. Restream. It doesn't work on YouTube, huh? How much is a membership? It doesn't cost anything to join Discord, my friend. It's free, and we all like to hang out here and just talk about water cooling and modding. Since the link for the newsletter doesn't seem to work, I will just link you guys Discord, and you can find the newsletter on our site by going to the home page right there and just click on that. And like I said, New Year's 1812, I think is what it was. New Year's 18-12, yeah. So that's the code, and through the 1st. And here's the Discord link. So definitely stop in our Discord. I'm in there right now. If anybody wants to come in and just chat about loop planning and stuff, since that's what we're going over today, I'd be happy to have anybody join. All you got to do is join a voice chat channel, and then I can drag you in. Oh no, well I mean the Discord server is specifically for us, but it's definitely a free thing to use. I know like Gamers Nexus only lets their Patreon members join Discord. However, we don't do that because I don't know, it seems like I'd rather just have everyone here and we can all hang out. Wish I had that code a couple days ago. Just bought everything to do a custom loop on my 8700K and strict sage. I'm sorry, man. If you bought EK parts, though, I'm not sure if it would have even worked because we still have this EK winter holiday sale going on, which is like 15% off or more on, I think, everything EK in the store. And I don't think the code would have worked with it because I can always get you guys after these sales are up. Okay, yeah, I don't think it would have worked because I have codes that'll give you 11% off of an order of 250 or more, and you guys can get those anytime. However, right now with the current sales and stuff, they won't work. So anytime that there isn't a regular sale going on, feel free to hit me up on Facebook or Discord's a better place to be honest. It's easier for me to keep track of everything there. But hit me up wherever you can find me, and I can get you a code for 11% off an order of 250 or more. If that'll help any of you out, I'd be happy to give you one. But without further ado, I think we can go into loop planning here. We got actually quite a few people for this Sunday afternoon, being New Year's and all. So let's see, where should I start? I think we'll go with this loop part list here that I've got. Oh man, the chat window is really messed up. Let me fix this for you guys. I don't know if you guys care to see chat, but that's everybody talking, and it's actually a little bit not right, but oh well, we'll work with it. So as you can see here, I just have a spreadsheet, and I'll actually link this to you guys. So you guys, let's see, I can't do edit. I'm afraid of what you guys might do. I think you can still copy and paste this though, because I've set it up so I've got, every component for a loop that you'd ever need, as well as their price and their link, a couple things with notes and whatnot. But then I also have it give you a total cost of your parts at the end there. So I mean, it's just a pretty basic Excel spreadsheet. I don't know, can you guys even see it that well? Let me try to. There we go. Maybe maybe you guys can see it a little better now. My cam kind of covers it up, but yeah, dude. Let me know if you can copy and paste it or not. If you can't like copy and stuff because I had it to only do view, I will make you guys just an actual just blank template, and then I'll give you guys like a link to edit. And I guess if you guys break it, it's your own fault. But for right now, I can't have you guys playing around too much with this list since this is what we're going over today. As far as, I guess we could just like start at the top, which is obviously the blocks. As far as that goes, I kind of just picked some blocks I thought would be cool, so like I can show you guys what I picked. For the CPU, I just picked this Raystorm Neo water block. It's black chrome, it's got RGB. Seemed like a just fine block to me. I don't know, there's so many CPU blocks, and with today's CPU blocks, they're all within like a degree or two. You can always duplicate the sheet for editing. Okay, so you guys can duplicate it then and edit it, I hope. Is that what you mean? If not, like I said, I can try to get you guys a link that'll let you guys have a blank template to use if you ever want to. But CPU blocks, like I said, are generally pretty close in performance with each other, so I kind of just went with what I thought might look cool, and I've never used that block, so if I had the opportunity, I'd probably use it if I could. Yeah, I'll get down to that. That's just because I made the theme like black and yellow is what I was going with, or black and gold. There's yellow coolant, but it was mainly black and gold. This at the end here, you'll see the total is over $1,000. But if you were gonna do this like budget more, maybe just go with the black mounts. Or he makes just regular gold. They're not actual 24 karat gold. Those mounts actually come in just regular gold as well, or just anodized, which will drop your price a good like 150 bucks or so. So that would help. That was just because those seem awesome. Yeah, blocks are pretty much all the same price. Yeah, that too. They're all about the same price. So really, if you're planning a loop in the Lian Li PC011, by all means, you don't have to use these blocks that I picked. Not at all. Really, any of the hardware. I'm just kind of going over what I would use. For the GPU block, kind of same story with that. It's just this is actually new, and I'm actually really interested in this block because this is black chrome, but this is actually tempered glass over the block instead of acrylic or plexi. It's tempered glass, which is kind of intriguing in my opinion. I wonder how that works out. I mean, I don't think it'll change performance or anything like that, but I feel like it gives it a little, I don't know, cleaner or more expensive look in a way, maybe. I'd have to see in person though. For radiators, this is where it starts to get interesting. I chose the Hardware Labs Black Ice SR2s, 360s, because with the, I suppose I should have a picture of this dang case. Uh, if you guys don't already know what it looks like, I should have put one like on the side of the screen. But we'll see it later once I get to the paint part of this or Photoshop part where we're planning out the runs. But the SR2 is one of the best radiators, in my opinion, from Hardware Labs. It's a multi-port radiator, so it's got, somewhat useful ports on it at least. It's a U-flow, like someone mentioned, explaining the difference. Probably weighs, yeah, it probably does weigh that block with tempered glass and everything. Like I said, it's got to have a really interesting feel and look to it with tempered glass and black chrome on it. But the SR2s are 60 mil thick rads with, I believe, 9 FPI. Let me double check that. Yes, 9 FPI. So it's actually a really low FPI rad, but being 60 mils thick, 60 millimeters thick, it's really got a lot of cooling potential in it. I don't know what, I think, yeah, they give you an estimate. I don't know how close these are these are directly from Hardware Labs. I don't know how accurate that actually is, but it says it'll dissipate 1500 watts, which is quite a lot. But from my experience, these radiators do have some of the best performance. If you actually look at some reviews, the only other thing that'll actually beat this radiator is the EK Coolstream XE, and those only beat it when you get. Oh, what's up, Jason? Jason made it. And the only thing that I prefer about these over the XE is that these are low FPI. The XE is a little bit higher FPI, so it requires like 1500 RPM plus fans to get the best performance. These do great with 800 RPM or anywhere around there. Watching it out, feeling like, oh, I'm sorry, Jason. What was that question? Is a custom loop worth it for a non-overclocking CPU? Um, well, to be honest, when I go about a custom loop, I really do it for the aesthetics because if you're really just going for best performance and you want to be within your budget and you don't care about how it looks, honestly, there's quite a few AIOs out there that'll perform just as good on just a CPU. So XSPC are damn clean rads. Yeah, XSPC has some solid rads too. Like I said, guys, these are just some of my suggestions. This is what I would pick for components in this if I was going to be building a custom loop. So that's a bit about Hardware Labs. I really recommend them over any other brand. But as I was saying, EK makes great rads. So does XSPC, and there's a bunch of other brands that, I mean, it's a radiator. It's pretty hard to screw it up unless you buy an aluminum one or something crazy like that. Hardware Labs, yeah. Oh, GTX. It does have more cooling capacity. However, it requires a little faster fans because are those 9 FPI too? I thought those were 16 FPI if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But the SR2s, like I said, if you look at where is that? I have if you search Radiator Roundup, yeah, from extremerigs.net. So this is what I've used for a while. This is getting a little dated. However, if you look here, uh, you can see them like stack up performance, average performance. Yeah, I think this is the chart that you want to see. So yeah, if you look here, 360 radiator relative performance in push. So, and they're testing at 1 gallon per minute for flow rate, which is pretty average as well. So this is just with push fans, and the Hardware Labs SR2 is right underneath the EK Coolstream. I don't know, yeah, average performance factor. This is just a made up number as far as that goes, but that's where it stacks up. So it is really close to the XE360, but being that it's lower FPI, it'll be a lot quieter running loop. Once you get to push pull, Okay, yeah, then the GTX starts to take over because, like I said, you need more, little faster fans for that. But you guys can check that out. I won't go over a bunch of freaking radiator reviews with you guys right now. We're planning a loop, but that's just one resource you can use when you are planning your loops because honestly, it is just a lot of research, guys. It takes a while to plan a loop. I get people that email me all the time and ask me to like just throw together a list of all the parts. What's the at for Discord? Oh, you need. Should I post the link again? Let me grab it for you. Invite. 1 second. There you go. So there's the Discord link again, and it's just really hard to come up with a list in a timely manner because one, I need to know the case, and I need to know what you want it to look like. There's just so many different factors where it is so much better if you guys actually do most of the research. I am always happy to like you guys can get your cart if you go to your cart. You can always get you can download the .csv from your shopping cart. Oh, dang it. You need something in your cart. But there's a button at the bottom that says download CSV. Download that file. You can send that to me, email me it, or hit me up on Discord or Facebook, like I said. And you can show me all the parts you picked out and kind of like just give me a little idea of what you're going after. And I'd be happy to let you know like what I think about it and if you guys have enough parts or if, anything's not compatible, anything like that. So when you do go to plan a loop, it definitely just takes time, guys. Because like even this, having not worked in the case, it's hard to really plan everything out. And if you can at all, I would suggest having the case in front of you before planning the loop, because then you can actually take measurements of everything. You have to log in for it to save, FYI. Wait, what? Maybe Jason's talking to someone else. But you can let me know. So let's see, where were? Oh, yeah. Oh, you do have to log in. Okay, so you have to be logged in, and you obviously have to have stuff in your cart. And then you can get your .csv. Sorry, guys. Uh, so where were we? We just explained radiators. People suggested some other brands too. Like I said, the Hardware Labs, great choice in my opinion. But by all means, use whatever you got to use. I picked out two of those because, as I was saying, the Lian Li PC011 on the top and the bottom of the case, it has mounts for 360s. So that, yeah, get a case first. It definitely helps. Like I said, being able to measure and everything is really helpful. However, I do know that two thick 360s should fit in that case, as far as I know. But if I were to be building this case, I would definitely, or building a loop in this case, I'd definitely just order the case and then double check my list. You're super echoing. I can hear the stream in Jason joint, but yeah, mute the
You
stream.
have to log into the website to save your cart if you make a bunch of parts in a list that you want to look at later on PPCs. Like it won't save your cart if you don't make an account.
Yeah, I know. But
Like I just wanted everybody to know that.
yep, that's what I just said on stream too.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it. Thanks, man. I hope you're not echoing. You might. Hank said last time you're echoing, but I didn't actually totally work on fixing the echo since I didn't know anyone's gonna be here. But it's all good. We should be fine. We're gonna keep moving though. Next up is the pump, and more often than not, I just recommend this EK D5 PWM G2, just because I prefer PWM over Vario pumps, especially when you know that you're not gonna have access to the bottom of the pump, which isn't a big deal. But if you don't have access to the bottom pump, a Vario pump, you won't be able to change the speed if you ever had to. However, you can always yeah, you can always just set your Vario pump and then install it and go with it, which works just fine too. However, having PWM is kind of nice. I do like setting a curve on my pumps to just, kind of fluctuate the speed a little bit with the temperature of the water, and that just helps with noise and everything as well as performance. So the EK D5 is a solid choice. Otherwise, any other D5 is a D5. I think most people know that. A D5 is a D5. Yeah. DDCs are a great choice too. I just think in this bigger, more open case, you have room for a D5, so why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for this EKD5 that we have here, I was going to make Jeez, I keep yawning. I can't stop. I don't know why. But, sorry.
Should have got more sleep last night, bro.
Apparently, yeah, it was a late night, and it was gonna be a late night tonight too. I'm sure everyone's celebrating New
Yeah, I
Year's.
was
I
up
think.
late.
Yeah.
Too.
But for the pump res, making a pump res combo is what I was gonna do, and I'm gonna use the Singularity Computers parts, which takes a little bit more work. I always do try to recommend these parts. They're a little more expensive, but Carlos says DDC. You have D5s, dude. But okay.
I like my DDC.
No, they're great pumps too. It just depends on the application, in my opinion. Carlos, we got it. You like DDCs apparently. uh, so for the pump top, I would get to make this a pump res because like I was saying, I was trying to explain that
Singularity Computers.
yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to figure that out for especially someone that's new to water cooling and they're picking out parts. You can just go to our website and go water cooling and then go over to combo pump reservoir and there's plenty of D5 and DDC options in here which are just an all-in-one unit so you get that and it's your pump and reservoir all together. However, I really no DDC. Carlos, we got it. What about using a pump that is meant for fish tanks? I wouldn't recommend it. It's just like there's so many different options. I mean, if you're really on a budget, it's gonna be hard to make a budget pump something like even the EK SPC pump, which is a really budget pump. It's a great performing pump. However, nothing really compares to the pressure or the flow rate of a D5 or DDC. So I would really have to recommend that you guys check out a D5 or DDC if you can at all. If you have just a single loop, like just a single CPU, the EKSPC, like I mentioned, is actually not a bad choice at all. My pump setup consists of Singularity and bits power from PVCs, of course. Yeah, I've actually found that with this pump top, for the D5, you can use bits powers, pump covers as well on it. The threads are the same, so with that being said, I'll show you guys the pump covers right here. I chose the Singularity ones. I'm going with all black here, but we're out of stock. So if you were to like want to order this stuff today, so Carlos, you're ridiculous. But if you were to order stuff today, you could get the Bits Power version and it would work. It looks a little different, so that's kind of up to you. But they work and it's the same thing. It's a pump cover, so it is what it is. But let's keep going, and we had the Reservoir Tube that I missed. That is just a 200 millimeter version, and I think I chose all black for this too. Oh, apparently I linked all the Reservoir Tubes. Okay. Well, here's the Reservoir Tubes. I think I would get, yeah, black and acetyl is what I would get. Or acetyl. I don't know what you want to call it. People all call it different stuff. But there you go. That's the tube that I'd probably use. The 200 should fit with the pump on the bottom of it. In that case, what I was going to do is, yeah, I would mount it up against the wall. Here, I'll show you guys my paint here. This is what I was kind of going for in orientation. So here's your pump res. This actually kind of looks like the.
Say my fluid does look really good.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Here we can talk about coolant once I get down there. But this looks like the EK X-Res kind of. But can't wait to do my two bends. Yeah, for sure. But imagine it being a Singularity's pump top and everything. It's pretty close, so we'll work with it once we go to plan the loop. But let's get back to our list here and keep going down what we got here. This is just tubing. I usually use TT stuff, or for tubing PETG. It's what I guess we're out of stock of this too. Dang it. it it comes in 500 millimeter lengths too. So what's up? Is this stream? Yes, it is on Facebook as well. However, anybody watching on Facebook, I'll also let you know it's in 720p, and I actually do stream in 1080, 60 FPS. So you will get a little better quality on YouTube or Twitch. So, but by all means, watch it wherever you want, guys. I really don't care. It's up to you. But as far as PTG goes, this is just what I found is easiest to work with for me. So I kind of just recommend it, and I try to use it as often as I can. But Bits Power makes great PTG too. There's EK. Monsoon, I don't always recommend. It's a little iffy sometimes, I think, but I don't know, hit or miss, I think.
Just use the Thermaltake, and it's very forgiving on heat.
Yeah, and that was your first time using
Yes.
it. Right, yeah, or bending. So
I had a few mistakes, but
we all do, man. It takes practice, but your loop came out really well, man. So
well, other than the soft tube between the GPU and the CPU because it's just too tight.
yeah, maybe you just need a couple fittings or something. Tube can vary by the
If I
with
couldn't get the
measurements in
range to
inches,
get
millimeters,
close
and
enough,
specify measurement. Okay, yeah,
so
that's actually a really good question, Eamon. I appreciate you asking that because I get that I get asked that a lot. So as far as tubing and fitting compatibility goes, you guys always want to make sure that you match
10
dimensions.
seconds allowed.
Oh, Carlos is in here now too. What up, dude? I have it on Do Not Disturb so I don't hear anything when you guys join or anything. I think I gotta turn
I
you
didn't
down too.
disturb you.
You didn't want to disturb. Well, you can't. Leave me alone. uh, so with tubing compatibility, like I was saying, always match dimensions. There's a couple instances where it doesn't matter, but I'll explain that in just a second here. You do not want to like use half-inch 5/8 tubing with a fitting specifically for that's 12/16. In some situations, they're close enough and it'll work. If you're using soft tubing, you can actually use metric or imperial unit stuff because soft tubing is quite a bit more forgiving than rigid tubing. As far as rigid tubing goes, though, always try to match dimensions. Like I was saying, there's a couple situations where it doesn't matter as much, and that's when you use Monsoon's fittings. I think all of their fittings come with extra O-rings, whatever style fitting you pick. So I picked the Monsoon Hardline Economy compression fittings, and these fittings all come with two sets of O-rings, as you can see here in this picture. It has two sets of O-rings, one for half-inch 5/8, one for 12/16, because the tubes, like I was saying, like you can convert it, and half 5/8 is really close to 12/16. However, is not the same. And
I
when you
just
want
use
things to
this
be,
brand.
what's that?
I just use that brand.
Yeah, the Monsoon fittings are great. They let you use either size. Other fittings, though, I would not try to use half-inch 5/8 with 12/16 or vice versa. It could work. It could be close enough. And the way PTG is made, it does have a certain range or tolerance to be made within, so you may just get lucky even. But as far as it goes, I always recommend that you guys match tubing sizes to your fitting size. So,
Can I add about those fittings?
can I, what?
There is easier brands to work with, from what I gather. The
The
tool
Monsoons?
used to, yeah, the tool used to tighten them can be kind of a PETA to work with.
Oh, I don't even use a tool to tighten them. I don't know why they send you one. You shouldn't have to use a tool to tighten your fittings. Everything should be finger tight. When you guys are if you've never installed water cooling stuff, especially with screwing stuff together, really you shouldn't ever have to use any kind of a tool like a wrench or pliers or anything like that. Uh, Tightening it down with your hands or your fingers is more often than not plenty. If you tighten it more than that, you can start breaking stuff, especially if you're like screwing fittings into a block. And that's what I'd be afraid of. When you're using a tool and if your fitting's on a block, you can keep tightening that collar down on the fitting, but eventually you're gonna be at the bottom of the threads, and then you're gonna be tightening the fitting down more onto your block, and that can get bad really quickly. If you over tighten fittings on like a plexi block, you can crack it 9 times out of 10. I like Bits Power fittings with the Bits Power tubes. I prefer to use the same brand. Yeah, that's always a good idea too. Use the same brand. However, you don't always have to match brands. Like I said, I almost always use TT tubing, so I don't know. It is what it is. But let's see. Where were we? We're moving along. I guess we can talk about the coolant here real quick. And Jason was gonna add some stuff, but I picked out Mayhem's Pastel Yellow. However, as said at the beginning of the stream, and as you guys can see on the left sidebar there, we got some new coolant in there. And it's the Cryo Chills coolant. And actually, I still got the test loop run. We can check that out once we're done planning
I'm
this loop.
actually using that fluid right now.
Yep. But
Just
for
to
this
test
loop,
it
I
out.
just picked the yellow. The Cryo Chill should be coming in yellow, I think. I have the list.
Yes.
Yeah. So you could use that too if you wanted, but I've had really good luck with Mayhem's pastel coolants and it holding up and performing fine. So I just picked yellow. And
Well, be warned. The Cryo Chills has the stuff, the mica stuff in it and stuff.
yeah, like I said, I would
So
definitely at the end of the stream here, I'll switch the camera and you guys can check out how the loop's doing, and I can kind of tell you guys what I've been seeing so far with it. I've been testing it for through 4 days now, something like that, 3 or 4 days. So we're letting it run for now, and we're gonna see where it ends up. But I'll give you guys a little update at the end. Up next, we have the angled adapters. And as far as that goes, we're gonna go to our paint or our Photoshop picture here, and I'll show you guys how I pick how many angled adapters I would ever use. Just to kind of wrap up this list though, so we don't have to keep going back and forth. I have EK's ball valve, just because I was gonna use all EK fittings, I guess, is what I kind of, well, besides the compression fittings. As far as angled fittings go though, EK has pretty good prices on them. If you guys wanted to see, that's actually a good thing to cover. Hey Matt, could you help confirm which glass tubing is compatible with Primo Chill rigid revolvers? Jade's 2 cents had trouble using Mayhem's tubing with rigid revolvers. It's so that I can buy the right one. Okay, let me see here. Primo Chill rigid revolvers. So, which size rigid revolvers? I know Primo Chill uses imperial units, so you're using the 3/8 half or the half 5/8. Because with that being said, here, let me see if I can find some.
I think Primo Chill had a 5/8 fitting for.
Oh, so it is 3/8 half. Okay.
Yeah, because
that's a good point.
Told me they were working on getting them,
yep.
making them, but they're not out. They're not out yet, or haven't got.
Okay, so, oh shoot, I don't think we even sell glass tubing.
Really?
We don't. No, I just realized that. I never noticed that. It's not in the tube type. We have acrylic, PTG, brass, silicon is soft tubing, and so is polyurethane. So, Edward, for you, my friend, just link me the glass tubing that you're thinking about using or wherever you're finding it, and I'll let you know if I think it'll fit or not. If it says that it's 3/8 by a half, you said it's Mayhem's glass tubing? I don't know why we wouldn't carry it, but Mayhem's has their own website now. So let me see. I think it's 3/8. Yeah, like Jason said, I think it only comes in 3/8 by half for the fittings. So let's.
Tubing's in 12mm, 13mm, and 16mm OD.
12, 13, and 16. 12 is really close.
12 is half, I think.
It's here. Borosilicate glass. Yeah, I swear we have tubing that's glass. But why isn't it one of the? It's not one of the freaking options. Material. Here we.
0.47 inches. So
Plastic, rubber, glass. Here we go. I guess you have to, instead of tube type, go down to material. That's one trick I was going to cover with you guys. When you're shopping through our site, what I do 9 times out of 10, I rarely ever use the search feature unless I know exactly what I'm looking for. What I do is I do shop by category, water cooling, and then you pick your category, and then on your left bar here, you want to use the filters. Polycarbonate glass. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Yeah, looks like it only comes in metric. Yeah, we have Alpha Cools too, but they use metric as well. And if Jay said that the Mayhem's 12mm OD stuff doesn't fit well, then I honestly don't know where to go from there, because Alpha Cools is only 13 and 16. You may just have to find. Geez, I'm really sorry, guys. You may just have to find a different brand, is what I'd have to say. If Jay knows for a fact that it doesn't work well, then I would go with what Jay says, and maybe even like hit him up on one of his videos or something, comment on one of his videos and ask him what other brands out there would work with your fittings like that. Sorry I couldn't be of more help, Edward. My bad. But as I said, we're using EK fittings, and right now we do have those on sale. So anybody interested in buying EK fittings, now's the time. But here's our 90-degree adapter, and I do get asked this quite a lot. A lot of people like Bits Power has the combination angled adapter and compression fitting, like it's right on the end here, is also a compression fitting for your tubing, which is actually really useful. It kind of makes it a smaller fitting overall, and it's just one fitting that way. However, a lot of brands don't do that, and then some people like pick up like Primo Chill fittings or whatever, and they'll be like, well, I need 90-degree adapters. in compression fittings, and they don't actually make it that way. So what you have to do is you buy your compression fittings, and then you just screw them onto your angled adapters, just like these. So I use almost entirely just 90s for them as far as rigid tubing goes. The plain single rotary 90 works great in a lot of situations. However, every once in a while you might find the need for, oops, one of these guys, the dual rotary 90, or the 2x45 is, I guess, what they say. So this one articulates or rotates around that joint there. So it'll actually do two 45-degree angles. Works really great for like doing offsets. It'll like offset your tube like, you know, a half inch or an inch, however far that goes. I'm not quite sure exactly. But that works really well as well as just the regular rotary 90s. Yeah, XSPC ones are great too. Kind of any with a male G and a quarter thread and then a female end is what you're looking for. I know I have it. Jason, you can talk.
I know, but you're in the middle of talking, so I didn't
Oh, okay.
interrupt.
That's fine. You're all good.
Yeah,
But
the
so
XSPC ones, they're nice.
yeah, I saw those. And XSPC actually just started making. Here, let me find those quick. They started making more, like Primo or not Primo Chills, Bits Powers. Let me see this. We just had them up here. They're new products. Oh yeah, that's right. We have Bits Powers new fittings. Why aren't those up in the new products feed? We have Bits Powers new compression fittings. They kind of look interesting, guys. So check those out. Let me see if I can find those XSPC
Oh,
ones.
those weird looking new ones?
Yeah, they got an interesting look. I don't know, something new at least. I don't mind. Like I said, something new is just nice. Okay, well, I can't find the fittings, but XSPC is another brand, just like Bits Power, that'll sell you a compression and angle adapter all in one fitting. So there's another option for you. So good. Thanks for checking. Jay went with PETG afterwards, but my message might have gotten lost. Yeah, I'm sure it's tough to get in touch with Jay. I don't know. You're in the Facebook group. Obviously, you're watching right now on Facebook, but ask in there. I don't know. Somebody in there might have used it, or else hop in the Discord and see if anybody's used glass tubing in there, and if they know of any other brands that would work with yours, with your Primo Chill fittings. But I think we got through. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned that I shouldn't use these mounts, or maybe I didn't say not use them, but they asked why. Because they are stupid expensive. They're 105 bucks a piece. But these are actually the reservoir mounts that I recommend 9 times out of 10 for any tube reservoir, and if you want to mount it in your case somewhere. These mounts, the gold ones are definitely overpriced. So if you're more on a budget and not going for a gold theme anyways, you can get something like the black ones. This is the same mount, but these are freaking amazing for mounting to a radiator or whatever. You can buy a different backplate for them that'll fit 140 mil stuff. They come stock to fit on anything 120 mil based. So you know your 120, 240, 360, so on and so forth. It'll fit all those radiators, and those work really great. I have a video on them, so if you're watching on YouTube, you can just check our channel and you can see the video I did on explaining all the different mounts that they have for reservoirs, because there's a few different styles. You can even get one that holds two reservoirs side by side. So if you guys have a dual loop or just like having two reservoirs, that's an option as well. I picked the 24 karat gold ones just because they look pretty. And I'm not actually buying this stuff. So kind of just went with it. You took the words out of my mouth. The craft is amazing. Is it made out? Yes, they are made of aluminum. Even this 24 karat gold one, it's just plated. They are billet aluminum though. So they're definitely very sturdy, and like I said, one of the best mounts I've ever found. Bits Power makes one just like this with their own kind of style to it. So there's other options, and people are almost in what I would have to say is copying these. It's not a bad thing though. It's a new product, new brand, or a different brand, different price. So gives you guys more options. But that's what I'd recommend going with right there. So that's all the parts. I think we've covered them all, and it comes out to $1,000. Like I said, if you use the other mounts, you would save yourself like 150 bucks almost. So I'm gonna leave my. Oh no, your connection's bad. That's all good, man. Thanks, John, for joining. Definitely hit us up again. We'll have more streams coming. You can see the schedule in the bottom left there. So stop by at any of those times as well. We'll be here, man. Thanks again. So your total is $1,000, but it wouldn't have to be quite that bad. It is a full. How you picked? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go over right in just a second here. I'm not heading out. Don't worry. John is though. Sadly, I'm sorry. John has to leave. But we'll get to the drawing here now. So picking out angled adapters. This is where this little picture comes in. So I've got a, what helps is if you have a perfect side view of your case. If you were to like have all your parts and you saved fittings for last, you didn't buy them yet, it'd be great just to take a picture of a perfectly perpendicular picture to your case with all your parts in it. That definitely helps. However, just getting like Lian Li has this great photo of a side shot of the case, and that'll work. So I just stole that, and we're using it now. I don't think they'll mind. But as you can see here, we got our motherboard, we got our CPU block on it, we got a GPU block here. There's one SR2 and there's another SR2, and here's our pump and reservoir. Now this isn't like a beautiful, perfect drawing, obviously, but it's just to give you an idea of how you would probably do the runs. So as far as that goes, I would have the radiators, and I know I didn't put ports on everything just because they're kind of the wrong side. But I would say for the top rad, I would have the ports on this right side here, this right hand side, and then on the bottom one, I would have the ports on the left hand side here. So with that being said, where would we start? Well, as far as what I would do, I haven't really put a whole ton of thought into it besides putting the parts in the case or mock parts. So you definitely need to use an out port. There's only one out port on the D5 pump top from Singularity. I know this doesn't look exactly like it, but imagine it is. And there's one out port. There's a bunch of in ports, so you have options. And that's honestly why I recommend this pump top so much, is because it has ports on it all the way around it. So depending on which way you need it to face, it can like basically get rid of one or two angle adapters for you if you can rotate it and make a port face a better way for you. So that's a little tough to plan for. I think I would probably leave the port, the out and the in, because there's one side of that pump top that has an out and an in side by side. So let's imagine this is the out and this is the in. However, I'm just going to use the top as the in. So we're going to go out this port, and what I would probably do is I would put a 90 right here. So we would want a 90-degree fitting, and then we would have the tube go straight down. Obviously this isn't perfect, guys, but this is what I usually do. It's just to give you an idea. So we'll have a 90 right there off the pump top, and then we will put a bend right here, and ooh, this is way too thick. So we'll put a bend right there. We'll make a 90-degree bend in our PTG, and we'll go straight over to the radiator. I would say at the most outside port, the one that's closest to the tempered glass or furthest outside, and have a 90 off that as well, a 90 right on the end, and then you just go straight into it. So basically, if you had two 90s, so we'll put two so far in our spreadsheet, just two regular EKF angled 90s, that would eliminate 3 bends for you, which would help a lot. Doing multiple bends with tubing. Gotta go clean the house. See you later, Jason. Thanks for stopping by.
See you guys. I can only come by for a little bit. I have to go straighten up before the rehab party. So
That's all good, man. No
I'll
worries.
talk to y'all next time on the next stream or something.
Sure. Oh, why am I on the face cam only now? That's not good.
Guys.
See ya.
Happy New Year.
Okay. Sorry if you guys couldn't see that. But as you can see here, we got a 90. Imagine a 90 off the pump top, and then you go straight down. You put a 90. You bend the tubing at a 90. You could use a fitting there if you wanted to, but I would just bend it. You got a perfect 90, and then you put another 90 fitting off the top of the rad, and then going from there, you have another port that's further back. And with that one, I would just use a fitting right off it. I would go straight up. So let's get our tubing out again. So it's going to be a little tough. It's going to get a little confusing because as you can tell, it's a 2D image. It's not 3D. So just bear with me, guys. So I would go straight up right about here. And then what I would probably do is the block has ports on the bottom and top. So what I would do is on the leftmost port, I would run a 90 fitting off that, and then you can just go straight over and in. This isn't quite the right height. But that would make it so, like I said, you just have your compression fitting straight off the rad, so you go straight up, put a 90 in it, and then you can go straight into a 90 on the block. So now we're up to 3 90s. So we'll put that in here. So we got 3, and let's go back to Photoshop. Wait a second. Why does it do that? It's like switching the scene every. Oh, I have it hotkeyed. That's why. Okay, well that's nice. So the hotkeys are a little messed up, but I'll fix that at a later time. It's a little tough to figure out how you're gonna get your GPU to the CPU. That just because of how it actually lines up the ports. They don't always, actually, they rarely line up perfectly, like straight with each other. So it's kind of rough to plan fittings there. I would honestly just buy 290s and use them for it. And you'd still probably have to make a bend in here somewhere. But we're just gonna put our tube there, and then we'll just kind of like, oops, not like that. Not like that. Okay. So we're just gonna imagine that this makes it to the GPU block. Maybe. I can't put an angle in it. Dang it. So this is where I just get 2 more 90s and hope that that works, and you might have to come up with some different bends. That's where getting a couple of the dual rotary, the 2x45 90s are a great option. Thought on parallel. Yeah, you could do parallel, however, when will the pump be? Yeah, it's a pump res combo. It's the singularity ones. So about the parallel, it's usually not a good idea to put your GPU and your CPU in parallel, just because the difference in resistance in the blocks is usually there. They can be quite different. And when that happens, you're going to reduce the flow by quite a bit in one of the two blocks. However, if you have like multiple GPUs, if you're SLI, if you have an SLI setup or Crossfire or whatever it might be, putting those in parallel is always a good idea, or maybe not always a good idea, but it's not a bad idea because those blocks should be exactly the same. If you do have exactly the same blocks, then putting those in parallel is actually a good idea. You're going to reduce the resistance and have a little better flow in your loop. But usually I wouldn't recommend putting the CPU in parallel with it. Radiators you can put in parallel too. It's a little more difficult with a loop like this. But we can keep moving on. So with this coming off the CPU, I would get another 90 right here. So I'm just going to keep it track in my head. We have 3 more to add because there's 1 here, 2 for here at least. Maybe dual rotary 90s there. Splitting the same loop is a bad idea. Water flow, the path of least, yeah, one of the two. Yep. It won't run dry. It just will get less flow than it should. Yeah, no problem, man. Those are great questions. Keep questions coming like that. Those are awesome questions, guys, because that's not something you can always find that easily. However, you can find me in the Discord, and you can always ask any kind of questions like that too there as well. So let's say we got a 90 off the CPU block. So then I would come. Oh wait. I'm thinking incorrectly because I said we'd have the ports. Maybe we'd have the ports on the radiator on the same ends. Because I mean, you could go up and that would just get messy. So I'm retracting my previous, oh, thanks, Jason. I'm retracting my previous statement and I'm going to say we're putting the radiators so both of them have the ports on the left side. So we're going straight over with a 90 from the CPU block. And then we can just go straight up into the rad. That's probably not where the ports are, but you guys get the idea. So then we got that one there. And then I would get another 90 back here off the rear port. And let's see what I wanted. Yeah. So we get a 90. So say this is your 90 fitting. It puts the tubing about that far out. And then I would go straight over and back down into the reservoir. And that's your in. That's kind of messed up, but you guys get the idea. So that is actually the loop kind of laid out. So we have 4 more 90s, and then I would also put in a couple of the dual rotaries. It's going to switch the scene here. So with 4 more, that'd be 7. I would say get 8 90s just to be safe, and then I would get at least 2, and we'll switch the camera here. I would get at least 2 of the EK dual rotary ones, assuming you connect rad and top of rad. Top rad ports next to top of res is a bending. Yeah, that's a really good point, Paskowitz. It was kind of a dumb thought. The rads and the block ports might not. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say too. Just altogether, it really helps if you have all your parts and then you can buy your fittings. However, some people like to order all their water cooling parts at once, and I don't blame them. I usually do the same. So that's just why I kind of draw up a mock loop, and it does give you a decent idea. So I would recommend getting at least 8 just single rotary 90s and 2 of the dual rotary 90s. And that should at least make it so you don't have like a bunch of impossible like triple bend runs to go through. Yeah, and yeah, the depth dimension is hard to do. This is a 2D drawing, so it's hard to kind of understand. But if you guys can just bear with the crappy photoshopping, maybe you guys took something out of that. Definitely try it yourselves if you guys are planning a loop and you don't have any of the parts. It's at least some place to start. Like I said, it gives you at least a decent estimate. So I would probably always go more than that. You could even maybe get 10 angled 90s. That may help. Uh, but just almost always I recommend buying more fittings than you need. People don't like that always because it costs more and it really adds up quick, but it is what it is, I guess. But I think, I don't know, we've been going at, oh, I changed, oh yeah, so that actually changed I forgot about that. So that increased the price a little bit. I forgot that the number of fittings weren't in there. So we're at 1100. It would be probably just under 1000 if you didn't use 24 karat gold reservoir mounts. Is Carlos still with us? You are here. What's up, Carlos? Nope. He's here, but not really, I guess. That's alright. So guys, does anyone else have more questions? We've had great questions today. I really appreciate everyone stopping in. It's been a Sunday afternoon and a holiday at that, or it's going to be a holiday. So I can see why there's not as many people, but I hope that you guys took some tips and tricks, just in general about picking out parts and even just using our website and using the filters and whatnot. Let's see here. But I think I'll just leave you guys with did you consider the ROG version? Yes, I actually did. I just kind of picked this more basic version because actually I could mention this. If you guys are any good at modding or anything, yeah, WGX, I forget the whole name, they add on more letters and stuff. But that one has a 360 rad mount right here as well, or 420, where this pump res is. However, in either of those two cases, I was going to mention that I would consider cutting out all of this. So I'll just draw over this. I would cut out this whole section of the wall here, and I would probably make my own custom reservoir, honestly. Like, it would look really good. It'd be a little more compact, you have a little more room to work with it. Being a custom reservoir, you can put the ports wherever you want it. And you know, a little more freedom, but that's a little more work. I've done a custom reservoir. You guys can check out that stream. That's in past streams. It's a few of them. So that's another option. There's not too much other modding just besides the static mods that I do maybe to the outside of the case. For this case, it seems like a solid case to water cool in. Really like those singularity res mounts. Yeah, I've been using them for a while in several or quite a few builds now. They are really useful. They make it way easier than almost any other mount I've ever tried to use or even make myself. So, with that being said, guys, if anybody missed it, I'll link the Discord one more time because we do have that giveaway going on, everybody. We have a giveaway once we hit 600 members. We'll be giving away that reservoir. We're at 518 right now, so we're almost there, guys. Let me get that invite link for you. Join up in the Discord. At 600 members, we'll be giving away an EKX Res 150 RGB, as well as 2 bottles of your choice of color of CryoChills coolant. Oh yeah, I was going to show you guys the CryoChills coolant. So here's my little mock loop. So far it's running pretty good. The only thing that I've noticed is that back here in the back of the res, it is got a little bit of fallout. So that makes me a little bit worried. However, the rest of the loop seems just fine. Nothing really seems to be getting caught in the block or anywhere else. I think it's just because there's really low flow right at the back of the top of the reservoir here. But if you honestly, I mean, if this was in your system, you couldn't do this. But if I just go like this and shake it up a little bit, it starts to come right off. So I don't know how you'd avoid that, but we're going to let this keep going and I'm going to see what happens. But I was also going to mention, as you guys can see, the upcoming streams. Maybe I'll switch cameras again for you. The upcoming streams, we have the CryoChills update. I'll definitely go over more of that on, that's Wednesday. Drains multiple for better, easier. Yeah. Could I do which one? Sorry, Edward, I missed your question, I think. I don't know what you want me to do. But, oh, I forgot to mention the drain off of that. If you did a custom res, you can figure out your own drain. But with the singularities one in this, if you were to use the singularity, I'd just do the drain directly off of it. You can use that male-to-male adapter that I had in the list of parts to connect your this rotary extender, because a lot of ball valves, pretty much most besides Bits Power, have female threads on both sides. So you use one of these. It's rotary, so you can turn the ball valve then once you screw it in, and it'll face that way. You can have like the handle facing up if you're anal about it. I kind of am, so that's why I use that. But as I was saying, Crowd Chill's coolant update on Wednesday. I'll be going over more in depth about what's going on with that. And then what I'm going to be doing with it, I think. Because on Friday, I think what I'll be doing is I'll be taking some of these parts, because I don't have a whole ton of extra parts laying around, but I was going to build a mock loop in the Define S that I was modding. Yeah, definitely. I would, it wouldn't be hard at all. You would just cut this panel, just cut a hole in that. If you watch my custom reservoir video, I'd make it really similar to that, and I'd just mount that in the wall there, and it would be kind of just a really clean and easy way to get a reservoir in there, and it would be custom, so kind of put your own touch on it. But as I was saying, I plan on doing I was just gonna I have a board, I have this block, so I was gonna disassemble this for just a day, and I was gonna put those parts in the Define S. Obviously, it won't be a working system, but I have rigid tube fittings, and I have a bunch of extra PTG. So what I was gonna do is just rig it all up with we have at least this rad. I forget if I have any other rads laying around or not. We got this rad here, and I can use this block. We got a pump, we got the custom resin there, so I can hook them all up, and I can do bends, and I can show you guys how actually bending to a point, like from point A to point B goes. I've demonstrated just some tips and tricks for PTG bending, but I've never done it where, say you're going from here to here, this is how I bend it, and then bend it for you guys. So that's what Friday's gonna be. I think you guys will really like that, because it'll be most like building a loop. It won't be a functioning loop or even a functioning system. Or actually, the loop will function just fine. I was going to put the crowd chills back in it, maybe even put the silver in it. The silver is still sitting here, so we could try that. Or else we can put the red back in it. I think it should be fine. The loop was clean, and the coolant should still be just fine. So one or the other, we'll do that. Yeah, it's that on my that. Hopefully, it doesn't take me too long. I guess it just depends on how bad I am at bending that day, I guess. So stay tuned for that, guys. I really appreciate everyone who stopped by today. It's been a fun stream, kind of just a basic and maybe boring for some people, but like I said, I hope you guys got some tips and tricks out of it at least. And now you know about Discord and everything else. You guys can hit me up wherever you want. Ask me questions like planning a loop. Send me your CSVs from our website if you're buying parts from us. You can send me your cart, and I can let you know what I think about it, and if I have any other recommendations or if I see any issues, I'd be happy to help you guys with that. But with that, I think I'm gonna head off. I don't know where Carlos is. I was gonna let him say goodbye, but I think he died on us or something. But I'll say goodbye for him, and I'll wish you guys all a happy New Year, happy holidays, guys. I will see y'all next week in 2018. I'll be here, so come back for some more great content on water cooling and modding. We'll be streaming. Have a good, sorry, have a good day, everybody. I'll see you later.